Hey guys, good morning again. Just finishing up green time here in Chino and getting ready to run an appointment with Wesley. And was thinking about you guys and spent the past couple of minutes going online and just sort of reviewing the numbers for the year one more time and the month one more time, and was looking at the leaders bulletin, and I was thinking about you guys, and I was thinking about all the success and all the recognition that we had just a couple of days ago at our Wealth Bowl Gala night. And we had so much recognition and so much to celebrate and so much to achieve. And yet, I know if you're like me, there's part of you that's like, it feels great to get the recognition. And I love the fact to look back and acknowledge what we achieved last year, both individually and collectively. But I'm looking for more out of this. I'm looking for more out of life, and I'm looking for more out of WFG. And if you're like me, I think you're probably looking for the same thing. Something has to change. As I was looking at the recruiting numbers, the production numbers, and the cash flow numbers, something has to change. And it's got to change right now. And that's why I wanted to reach out to you this morning. I felt like I couldn't wait till Friday's conference call. And one of the things that I really respect and appreciate most about you is I know that you want things to change. I know that you're a lot like me in that regard, that even when things are at their absolute best, you're always looking to push the boundary and to get even better, to grow even better, to achieve even more. And so I want you to listen to me right now. Right now, I want you to listen to me, and I'm going to call a shot. And I want you to, without thinking too much about it and overthinking about you, I want you to take massive immediate action on what I'm about to tell you to do. And the great thing about you is I know that you will. I put forth a challenge to the hierarchy yesterday, and holy cow, we had, I think, 80 responses in about a half an hour or 45 minutes. And certainly if you didn't get a chance to respond yet, there's still time left. But I think it's time for us to do something that we have not yet done collectively. Individuals have done, but I think it's time for us to work together and really to get after something and to move our numbers, for us really to have the kind of year that we've talked about, for us to have the best year ever this year, for us to have the best year ever, I think, as far as our cash flow and what we're able to achieve for our families and the people that we're able to support and the organizations that we're able to support, is going to require a massive, massive exponential growth in production. And for us to have massive exponential growth in production, that's going to require massive exponential growth in recruiting. And I know sometimes if you're like me, you feel like, God, I don't know who to recruit, or I don't know what to say, or maybe the timing's not right, or I don't feel like I'm as good at it as I want to be. And the good news is we have a solution for you. It's a solution that has proven to work for a bunch of people. It's a solution that's really been designed by Mark Onstad out of the Colorado office. And he got the concept from a book called Book of Numbers, written by Nick Murray. And Mark talked about it at our leadership meeting on Thursday. And I know many of you didn't get a chance to attend that meeting. And so I wanted to share with you sort of one of my personal big secrets, one of my personal big takeaways from the 4-day event was Mark's talk at the leadership meeting. And it's about focusing not on results, but focusing on the process, focusing on our activity. Here's what I know. If you're going to have your best year ever, the only way that's going to happen is if you get massively wide. You need to get 25, 30, 40, 50 directs this year. Minimum 25. You can't grow with 25 or fewer directs. You just can't do it in our business. It takes 25 directs really to maintain your size of business, to maintain your current production level, your title, and your cash flow. If you want to grow, it's got to be 25 plus. For you to hit BBC, maybe you've never hit it before. Maybe you've only hit it once or twice or sporadically. For you to consistently hit it, it's going to require you to lead from the front. Monkey see, monkey do. I know sometimes we wish it wasn't that way, but it is. Monkey see, monkey do. So you're going to need to lead from the front with your personal guest count, your one-on-ones, and your directs. And by doing that, it gives you the moral authority to lead your team to double-digit recruiting. Mark, in his base shop, has hit double-digit recruiting 19 consecutive months. They were over 15 base shop recruits 6 times out of 12 months in 2016. And I think they were over 23 times, I know for sure. So what's the secret? It's right here. It's in your daily activity. And this little game he created based on the book of Numbers. It's a simple little tracking sheet. All of you have it available, whether you're in the Torrance office, you're in the Desert office, you're out in Little Rock, Arkansas, you're in Chino, you're in Colorado. It's available to you. Every single SMD, every single field trainer knows what I'm talking about. Every single leader knows what I'm talking about. But it's time for us individually, all of us, to put this to use. It's a simple tracking method whereby you focus on your activity for the day, and as long as you consistently have 5 or 6 days a week of good activity, great things will happen for you in your business. We check one box on here if we leave somebody a message. We check 2 boxes on here if you get a hold of somebody and speak to them live. No matter what they say to you, they can say, no, please don't ever call me again. You get to check off 2 boxes of activity. If you set an appointment or confirm a guest, you get to check off 3 boxes of activity. So even though just getting them to answer the phone is twice as good as leaving a message, it's 3 times better if you can get them to say yes to an appointment, like I'm about to go on with Wesley, or get them to agree to come down as a guest. And so the goal is for you to create a baseline of activity, a minimum number of points, not guests, not appointments, not results every day, but a minimum number of points that you're going to achieve using this little 1, 2, 3 point scoring system. Your leader will walk you through it. I encourage you to have a conversation today, not tomorrow, today. If you're like me, you're going to tend to want to put it off till tomorrow or put it off to the next meeting, the next time I see my leader. Here's what I want to challenge you to do. Today, I want you to reach out by text or by phone call. I want you to get your schedule, whether it's in person or on the phone with your leader, and schedule 10 minutes today. And I want you to get your hands on this sheet. And I want you to, with your leaders, help create a baseline minimum units of activity on a daily basis, whether it's you're part-time and it's 10 or 15 or maybe 20 units of activity on a daily basis. You're full-time and maybe it's 20 or 30 or 40 or 50 units of activity. The goal is not to set the biggest number as possible. The goal is to set an achievable number that you can hit every single day for at least 2 weeks running. And when you've hit your baseline units of activity for 2 weeks running, then it's time to bump up that number. And if for some reason you fall short one day, then you want to bump down your number, and you want to make it achievable every day so that it's no matter what happens, you've got extra errands or honeydews, or you got to take the kids to school, or one of the kids is sick, or whatever happens, that every single day you hit your baseline units of activity, not results. It's about activity, not results. And so one of my biggest takeaways from the entire event, I had 3 or 4 big takeaways of things I need to do personally and collectively with the team. This is one of them for me, and by looking at the base shop and the individual direct recruiting numbers just now on the Leaders Bulletin, I know that you need it as well. I want you to listen to me now. I want you to take massive immediate action, because something has to change. And because I respect you so much and I care about you and I appreciate you, and I know how badly that you want things to change. You're like me. You're like the rest of us. Mark wanted things to change for him and his business. Nikki wants things to change for her and her business, right? If you're like us, and I know that you are, you want to have the best year ever. And have the best year ever, we've got to set an example for our teams, not based on results, but based on a commitment to doing the best that we can every day, trying our hardest. And that starts with activity. That's all we expect out of our kids, is that they try their best, whether it's in school or sports. And that's all your leadership expects out of you. That's all I expect out of you. And that's all your teams expect out of you as well. So I want to challenge you today. As soon as you've texted or had that conversation with your leader, I want you to post on the Superbase GroupMe, I am committed to daily baseline units of activity. And you put in your number there and let the whole team know what you're committed to. Let your upline leadership know, and let the rest of your team know. And I want to see your public commitment after you've discussed what your number should be with your leader, not before you've discussed it. I also want you to post it after you have the tracking sheet in your hands, okay? I appreciate you guys. Tip number 1 was make sure you get to this Saturday's SMD University launch meeting. That's the first thing we need to do as a hierarchy, and that because that's a one-time event. You got this Saturday to be there and get started to get yourself promoted, and after this Saturday, it's over. Step 2 is I want every single person who wants to have their best year ever and wants to be a part of this leadership team. I want them to get on the baseline units of activity as outlined by Mark Onstadt in his leadership talk on Thursday. Each of your leaders and SMDs knows exactly what we're talking about. Reach out to them, get your hands on the document, and make a public commitment once you've agreed with your leader as to what your baseline units of activity should be. I appreciate you guys so much. Let's go out and make it our best year ever.